Hello all YouTubers, I'm the Weather Dude, helping you to understand your weather even better. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into this weather presentation for July 20th, 2019. First thing I wanted to point out, you might notice that my face on the top right of the screen is a little bit bigger. I did finally figure out how to get into the advanced settings and make my face a little bigger because you might not be able to see it on the first 3 videos that I did with my face on there with the screen recording. So hopefully, see my face a little bit bigger will help you understand the gist of the video a little bit more, and hopefully not blocking the way of other weather maps. So as always, please consider subscribing, as well as ringing the bell notifications to never miss one of my videos again. And as always, please look in the description for other videos of mine with superior weather content that you won't find anywhere else. And as a way of donating to my channel, please consider watching the whole video because we're going to be talking about, now I know I did a hurricane outlook, it was like a month or two ago, how I said El Nino is weakening and it might return. Well, it did return, and it might be going away for good now. And that is very bad news. So stay tuned for that. One thing I want to point out, though, very happy with what I see on the drought monitor. Now, I'm not necessarily happy with the amount of drought that I see, but where it's all located is where I'm happy about. I mean, notice. I mean, this does have to do with El Nino, but notice the west. It's just really no drought at all. Maybe a little, like a tiny bit, like a bright yellow shading in Southern California. But that drought, like if it's at that level, it's called D0, and that's really not even a noticeable drought. The noticeable drought is you start to get the pale color and the orange color, the moderate and the severe, and then once you get to the red and dark red, that's your noticeable drought. The D1 and higher, but D0, which is a bright yellow color, not noticeable. Instead, the drought's been in places where it usually rains a lot. Hawaii's been on a drought. The Aleutian Islands, which is the Alaskan island chain, which I don't see any drought on there. But Alaska and Puerto Rico, as you see on the bottom of your screen, I mean, Puerto Rico might start to wish, not for another hurricane, but for another tropical wave to bring some rain, because they need it over in Puerto Rico. The next ENSO Outlook wrap-up from the Australian Government Bureau of Meteorology will come out in 3 days. And I do believe that is on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday, yeah. So it'll be coming out on Tuesday. This was last issued on July 9th. La Nina, you have above average trade winds over the equatorial Pacific. And guess what we have? Above average trade winds over the equatorial Pacific. Now, like I said in my last couple of videos, or the videos that I did do on the El Nino, my hurricane season outlooks, that if you got some factors of El Nino, you got some factors of La Nina, they might make a neutral pattern. And let's look at this little PowerPoint presentation here. And I don't see my face blocking too much off the screen. This was updated on July 15th, which was a Monday. That was on a Monday. That was last updated. Alright, so let's go through. And when I first read this alert, we'll do a video. My next video will be about the cool down from the heat. And I was just browsing, and I was getting ready to do my video on the cool down from the heat, and I saw this, and my jaw just dropped. So, this was very shocking for me to see, especially with the last outlook a few days ago saying we still got a 55 to 60% chance of El Nino. Well, if you looked at this graph, it just drastically changed. Boom! Now there's like a 20-30% chance of El Nino. Like, where did it go? It went from 55 to 60% chance of an El Nino to a 25% chance. So, this is going to be very bad for the hurricane season. And now, we have a greater than 55% chance of a neutral pattern through the whole entire hurricane season. For the month of July, for the rest of July, we have a 50% chance of neutral, but neutral is really going to kick in as we head into August. So August, September, you're going to have to watch for a spike in the hurricane activity. I know we didn't have, actually, any hurricanes last year in August, and all of a sudden September just got totally wild. Florence and then Michael came in October, so it was bad. But look at the SST anomalies for Nino 3-4 region CFS V2 forecast. And this shows that we're actually getting dangerously close to La Nina range. Remember, basically, the lower these are, the more trade winds you might have over the equatorial Pacific, and potentially less wind you're going to have over the Atlantic. So this is not necessarily like a hurricane outlook, so to speak, but it's looking at tropical weather. And you see some models here, example the IRI, the CPC, trying to keep it El Nino range, but more models are starting to trend down to this point. And this wasn't even updated. This is from June. I don't know why that's even on here still. I mean, but notice this as well. SST anomalies, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8. From the beginning of the year all the way up through April. And then with the May update, April, May, June update, it was 0.7, so it did drop a little bit. So that's really worrying me here. And let me see if I can find the Upper Ocean Heat Content Map. Here it is. This last updated 7th of July. You can see right at the surface, we do see a little warm spot there. But notice, as you get into the surface, like up here far to the east, and just below the surface, it's getting colder over the equatorial Pacific. And that worries me, and that worries a lot of other meteorologists as well. As for what could come next. Okay, don't need that slide. SST anomalies are, like, really heating up. Like, by Bermuda, like, the SSTs, the actual temperatures are getting close to, like, upper 80s now. So, even though the central Gulf of Mexico is cooling down because a cold front's getting ready to come through early next week, and also the fact that Barry came through, it has cooled down a little bit, but nonetheless, look at the Western Atlantic. Heating up. Like lava. Oof. It's very, very bad hurricane season. I'm not saying very bad hurricane season, but it's certainly not going to look like a calm one based on what we're seeing right now. Look at this. All of a sudden now we're starting to see 30-degree SSTs pop up over the southeast coast, over the Florida coast, off the coast of Bermuda. And that really is worrying me. But over the Gulf, I mean, the Eastern Gulf and the Western Gulf are also at 30 degrees Celsius. And to be honest with you, to have like a sustainable tropical system, you really only need 27 degrees Celsius. Around 80, like 81. That's what that translates to in Fahrenheit. So look at the Nino, latest Nino 3.4 index, then 18Z, this is 12Z. 18Z will come out in 2 hours, about 9 o'clock. I know I'm doing this video at 7 o'clock, so. Took me a little bit longer because I thought I was going to do the cool down, which I will do in my next video, the cool down from the dangerous heat wave, heat indices up to 115 across the central and eastern United States. And it's just hot stepping outside. But anyway, you can just see, look at this, plunge down below the zero line, which this is a neutral pattern. It's still a neutral pattern considered, but as we start to see a little uptick, and then now we're going down again. Heading towards more of a neutral phase. It's going to go up and down with this graph. But overall, if we look back from the end of April, if you look, this is what I like to see. I mean, not like to see, but this is what I want to show you guys. From the end of April until now, you do see an overall drop. It's not the straightest line, but you can definitely see a drop in the SST anomalies across the Nino 3.4 region. I mean, up and down, up and down, up and down. It's going to be doing that all the time. But the overall, based on one period of time to another, it's really going to be the difference. Alright, I know my fist motion is a little bit weird there. But anyway, let's go to some modeling now. CMC is forecasting some tropical waves to come off the coast of Africa. You could kind of call this the more high resolution of them. This is Tuesday afternoon. You can see one little wave of energy. But to be honest with you, once they get just east of the Lesser Antilles, like right around this point, they just die. And the reason for that is what we're seeing right here. Way too much dry air still in place. So if any tropical cyclones are going to form, like Andrea and like Barry, they're going to form closer to home, and that's what they've been doing. Because you just still have this huge barrier of dry air. Although I will say, it has been going down, especially across the Western Atlantic itself has been going down, the Gulf of Mexico and the Northern Caribbean. South and Eastern Caribbean still pretty dry. If not, like actually maybe getting drier. But we see one little tropical wave, but the cloud tops just don't look really white on here like they do closer to home. So dry air, a lot of it is still in place. Let's look at the precipitable water anomalies. Definitely see some plumes of moisture coming off of Africa, but okay, if you're a person that likes tracking hurricanes, don't get too upset. I mean, this is not the time of year where we tend to see tropical waves come off the coast of Africa. And the GFS modeling, and even the CMC modeling, was forecasting something to go like this. So, some forms, like south of Bermuda, rides along here, goes in the Gulf and makes landfall. They're not even showing that anymore. It can change just by one model forecast run. Anything can change. And you can see one little plume of moisture there. trekking across the Atlantic from Africa, and we'll see what the CMC model does with it. And as far as it goes, looks like it's holding the moisture pretty well. But what I'm noticing here is that you don't see any rotation with the winds. I mean, these are 850 millibar winds, but you don't see any rotation. It's just coming out of the due east and southeast. I don't see any rotating winds, and that can happen. I think it's just going to be a plume of moisture, not necessarily any cyclonic energy. And let me prove that. Go to that same spot. Look at that. There's a lot of moisture, but look. Absolutely no cyclonic energy. Same time, same place. Look at this. That same area where that plume of moisture was, no cyclonic energy at all. Except a couple scattered yellows, which is there all the time. So, we're seeing a lot of moisture. The models they're just not showing it rotating at all. So, no development over the next 5 days. We do have Invest 9070 in the Pacific. If that can maybe spin up, I know that the Pacific's getting a little bit warmer. Maybe it could make some waves along the coast of the Baja. Maybe even up through Southern California if it can get strong enough. But hopefully this should not be a significant threat. But looks like 80% chance over the next 5 days of development. These might still see something go near the Baja. We'll have to see how that all plays out. Okay. Let's go to this map. Okay, I don't need that anymore. So let's see where the tropical systems go typically in July. So usually in July they either form near the Lesser Antilles, just as like NOAA, this is just like from climatology's past. They either form near the Lesser Antilles, they might form like near Cuba and Yucatan, or they might even form in the Bahamas. They usually trek either into the Gulf or up the eastern seaboard. That's your typical tracks for July. The Barry kind of followed that pretty well, except Barry came from land. And I'm not saying that tropical systems that form in the future cannot come from land, but it's very rare that you see that. Barry started off in Missouri. I actually might be thinking about doing a recap video, although a lot of the maps are lost now, so I don't know if I can do that. But I'll try and get a Barry recap video. Hopefully that one would, get a lot of hits. But getting in Missouri, coming down, breaking off a cold front, off the jet stream, into the Gulf of Mexico, sat there, became a Category 1 hurricane, which that's what I was saying from the beginning. Then it started getting into wind shear and dry air. Then they were saying like a landfall is a strong tropical storm. And then it ended up being a hurricane still with 75-mile-per-hour winds. And it came up through Missouri and rotated in a perfect circle. And the remnants went through the Northeast not too long ago, like a couple days ago or a few days ago. And it was gone. So Barry was a very strong storm, and I know a lot of people got devastated. But it could have been a lot worse, heck of a lot worse. Actually, I think the most rainfall out of the storm might have came from Louisiana, but the second highest rainfall total might actually came from Arkansas from the remnants. So that's pretty interesting. August, nothing out of the ordinary here. They usually form, again, where that white line starts, either off the coast of Africa, they might form north of the Lesser Antilles, maybe form near Cancun and Cuba, and then they either track through the eastern seaboard or into the Gulf. But the orange area is where they most likely track. That's usually near the tropical islands, Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico. Saying it's avoiding Cuba, only in that blue shading, which is likely. Maybe near Dominican Republic. Also beginning during that green, which is more likely. But orange is the area where the tropical systems and August most likely track. Tropical intensity index. Anywhere you see oranges and reds, that's where you can have your tropical systems form if like energy or moisture happens to move through that area. And over the islands, Bahamas, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Lesser Antilles is kind of iffy, but and also Puerto Rico, those areas, even Florida as well, West and East Coast, favorable for tropical development as of 6:03 p.m. today. So bottom line here, we're starting now. Even the PowerPoint presentation switch from a 60% chance of an El Nino to a likely neutral phase over the next month or two. And again, when I saw that, that really stunned me. So that's what really got me worried. This is a new map from trackthetropics.com. And now this might scare you and see, like, you might see the dark blues and say, whoa, Category 5 hurricane. No. But now, this is saying potential This map just got released. I literally just saw this. I barely understand it myself, but I am able to analyze it. So let me break it down for you guys to the best of my ability. So what this basically means, now don't look at the pressure for a second. Look at the bottom half of the map, which is the potential maximum wind for knots. You can see tropical depression, storm, category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hurricanes, all labeled there. But what this is saying is, bottom line is, well, you see the outlines is the sea surface temperature is like 26.5. That's about 80 degrees. You see 28, 29, even some 30 right there. But that's just the SSTs. But looking on the bottom half, or the bottom map on the bottom of your screen, you can see that if it stays over that region for a long period of time, as indicated by those blues and dark blues, it could be a category 5 based on the current conditions. So I see widespread pink and purple, so looking pretty favorable, but this is only potential. This is not like what it's going to be. And potential pressure of less than 880, I don't think that's ever happened before. Might have seen pressure in the 880s, but or 890s, but near 900, but it's very rare that happens. Very, very rare. And if it does, might want to flee from your area. Anyway, wind shear tendencies definitely have been down. You can see all these blue outlines, meaning wind shears dropped 5 to 10 knots over the past 24 hours due to that neutral pattern, or neutral phase kicking in, as opposed to what we thought was going to be an El Nino, but still a chance. But what we're saying now is there could be a 60% chance of a neutral phase. Oceanic heat content, yellow is high oceanic heat, but red is significantly high oceanic heat, and we definitely have that across the Caribbean as well as the Gulf of Mexico, and even off the southeast coast. Alright, dry air we already went over. Another oceanic heat content map. Definitely higher oceanic heat than there was in 2017, and we know that 2017 was a very active season, so hopefully my face being bigger on the top right of your screen helps. So hopefully I didn't see it blocking too many of my maps. So again, just since we've been talking about the heat wave earlier in the video, let's just pull up that Word doc real quick. Just heat safety tips. Again, limit time outdoors. Please consider watching my previous video. My previous video. I do exclusively share these 10 safety tips that I came up with myself to help you beat the heat. And as well as a bonus tip as well, if you didn't just see it right there. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. I am The Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time. Thank you for watching.